Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a humongous book haul for you. I haven't done a book haul on my channel yet. And usually it's because I don't get that many books at one time. I don't accumulate that many books in one sitting. So for my bridal shower, I asked for people to bring books as gifts. So that's why I have so many. And I also have some new releases that I've just kind of kept in this pile, with my book of the month picks also, because I wanted to share with you guys all the books that I've accumulated over the past month and a half, maybe. We're going to go through all of those. So the first two books that I have are my book of the month picks. So for my September pick, I chose Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is her debut adult fantasy. And if you don't know, Stephanie Garber, she wrote the Caraval trilogy and the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So I'm super excited for this one. Also, the cover is stunning. Book of the Month had the special edition sprayed edges. So pretty. I actually don't even know what this one is about, but there's a little blurb that says it starts with a class in an old movie theater. So a lot of these books, I don't know much about them, so I'm not going to be giving much detail about them, and I kind of like going that way, going into my books somewhat blind. So yes, I'm super excited for that one. And then in your birthday month for book of the month, you get a free book as well. So for my free book in September, I chose Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I thought that this would be a perfect spooky season read because it's about this girl who inherits a haunted house basically from her family. I don't know who she inherits from. But basically she grew up in a haunted house. It's possessed by demons and whatnot. So I guess you're just finding out maybe why this house is possessed and all the things that go on in it. I don't know if it's gonna be scary or not. So we'll see, but this one sounded just super intriguing. And then now I have a couple of new releases that I've picked up. So one of the first new releases that I picked up is Rebecca Ross's Wild Reverence. This takes place in the same world as Divine Rivals, which I love that duology. If you've not read that series by Rebecca Ross, I highly recommend. It's so good, especially in the fall time. But this one is basically follows the gods that are in the Divine Rivals world, and I've seen so many quotes and people saying this is a 6-star read for them, and I'm so excited to read it. It's kind of a chunky book, honestly. I didn't expect it to be this. This is bigger than the Divine Rivals books combined, honestly. But I do love books about the gods and that kind of plot. I don't know. And Rebecca Ross's writing is also just so good, so I'm really excited to read that one. And then Hot Wax by ML Rio came out this month, and I'm so excited to read this one because ML Rio wrote If We Were Villains, and that's one of my favorite books of all time. It's a dark academia mystery thriller, and I'm assuming this one's not dark academia, but it's a mystery thriller, and it's about this girl she's not really close with her dad, but she gets the opportunity when she's younger, maybe 10 or something, to go on tour with him. He's in a band that's up and coming, and she witnesses something horrifying on that tour, and so she's grown up trying to leave that in the past and not think about it, talk about it, and then her father suddenly dies. So that kind of brings up the past, and I guess you're gonna find out what happened. I love ML Rio's writing, so I'm just so excited to get to that one. And then the last two new releases that I've picked up are If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. Look at this cover. Literally screaming fall. I'm so excited to read this one. This one is a slow burn romance set in the autumnal glow of 1997 small town Vermont. Literally, fall in a book. I'm so excited. Um, for this one, I've seen so many good things about it as well. So, I think I think the male main character in this is, um, the female main character's next door neighbor. He's also a baker and he's also a single dad. Literally all my favorite tropes. And then Hannah Bonham Young's newest release. I'm so excited. This is People Watching. And I don't really know if this takes place in the fall, but the cover is definitely giving fall. But this one's a small town romance about a woman's journey to spread her wings that intertwines with the arrival of an adventurous newcomer who brings out the best in her. So I love Hannah Bonham Young's writing, and her writing's always really fast paced and pretty short. Read. It's like 330 pages, so I could definitely fly through that one. I'm really excited. And then these next three books are ones I just picked up on my own, like I saw at the bookstore. I've seen them several times, and I've just hadn't picked them up yet, so I finally did. This one is called It Happened One Fight by Maureen Lee Linker. Emily Henry has a quote on the front that says, "My perfect read." And if Emily Henry loves it, then I'm going to read it and love it also. But I love the cover of this one, first of all, but this takes place in like Hollywood 1920s. Love that setting. Kind of gives Evelyn Hugo vibes. So this one's about Joan Davis, who's a movie star, but she's always paired with another Hollywood favorite named Dash Howard. They're always like cast together. And everyone loves him, but she kind of like doesn't like him. Somehow on set, her and Dash get legally married. It was like a prank gone wrong. So then she agrees to like save her reputation, basically. She agrees to star alongside Dash one last time and move production to Reno, where divorce is legal after a 6-week residency. So that sounds really fun. I love 1920 settings, like old Hollywood settings. That is just so fun. And then I have The Book Club for Troublesome Women by Marie Bostwick. This one I love the cover. I love the green and like the oranges in it. And this one is about, it takes place in the 1960s where women had to just be the perfect wife, housewife, be a mother, raise kids, clean the house, keep the house, perfect. And basically, so Margaret Ryan is the character. She's living the American woman's dream. Husband, 3 children, station wagon, lives in the suburbs, But she's kind of like wants more of her life than just being like the typical housewife. So then she meets like this very, I don't know if she's like eccentric is the right word, but she's the newest and most intriguing resident in her neighborhood now who just moved there. And so she creates a book club to get to know this person better. So all the women in her neighborhood join this book club. And so basically they're just like talking about things that they can never talk about, with their husbands, and, kind of like defying the standards that were set for women in the 1960s. So I really love a time period. I love a period piece, honestly. And it has to do with books, like a book club. So I had to get that one. And then this one I've been intrigued by for a very long time. This is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, I think is how you say the last name. But this one, again, all these covers are like totally speaking to me. But this one takes place off an island near the coast of. It takes place on a little island, a little bit off from Antarctica, and it's home to the world's largest seed bank. And was once full of researchers, but with the sea levels rising, Dominic Salt and his 3 children are like the sole people that live there. They're caretakers of this little island called Shearwater. And then a very awful storm happens the worst that the island has ever seen, and a woman mysteriously washes ashore. So, I don't really know what's going on. Like, no, I don't know if Rowan is the woman that mysteriously shows up, and I guess they're trying to figure out, like, why she came. They think that she's not telling the truth as to, like, how she got there, really. So I feel like there's probably some, like, mystery elements in this as well. So, I don't know. I just felt like it was, like, a different type of book. I don't usually read these type of books, so I thought that would just be, like, a good change. Okay, and now the rest of these are all books that I got from my bridal shower, so let's get into those. First up, we have Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I have seen this several times at the store, and every time I pick it up, I remember why I hadn't picked it up yet, and basically it's because it says a dog is accidentally shot, and I was like, yeah, I'm not reading that. But I kept seeing so many people talk about it and really enjoying it, so I thought I would pick it up. But this one is about Beth and her husband, who are happily married, but that relies on their past staying the past and not talking about it. Then Beth's brother-in-law shoots a dog that was going after their sheep, and that dog belongs to Gabriel Wolf, who is like her ex, the man that she loved the guy she loved as a teenager. So Gabriel has returned to town with his young son Leo, who reminds Beth very much of her own son, who died a few years earlier in a tragic accident. So I guess there's some mystery elements in that as well. Again, I've just been really itching to read more like general fiction books, so that's why I asked for that one. Then I have The Story She Left Behind by Patty Callahan Henry. This one seemed kind of like had some history elements to it maybe, but it takes place first in 1927 when Clara Harrington's mother, who's a renowned author, goes missing. And then in 1952, Clara is an adult, she's a mother, and she gets contacted by someone in London who finds a way to translate her mother's old manuscripts. So she's learning more about her mother too as an adult, like later in life, and like maybe like why she went missing. So I thought that was really intriguing. And then I got 2 Stephen King books. I really want to get into more Stephen King, especially in like the fall and winter months. So the first one that I got is Billy Summers. Billy Summers is like a hitman basically. He's like a killer for hire, and he's kind of tired of this job and wants to get out of it, so he agrees to one last job. I guess we're just following Billy Summer as he's doing one last job as a hitman, and also maybe getting like his backstory. And then the next one is 11/22/63. I've been scared of this one for a while. It's humongous, but I've seen so many people read it recently. And basically, if you don't know, this is about basically time travel, where this guy is approached and asked to go back in time and prevent the Kennedy assassination. Like, I don't even know what kind of genre this is, honestly. I just thought that was very interesting. So, hopefully we can get through that one. It's just a really long book, but it sounds very entertaining. And then I got this one, which I'd never heard of before, but it's a series. This is book 1, called Arcana Academy. But it's basically, I don't know if it's like a dark fantasy or romance, but it takes place in an academy, so I think it is like a dark fantasy. And I love when like books take place in magical academies and there's magic, and obviously it's a fantasy romance. So I would say it's a dark fantasy romance with a magical academy, tarot cards, all that sounds amazing. And then this one's a dark romance, I know for sure. And I actually don't know what it's about, because it doesn't have a description on the back. It just has a quote. But this is Scarred by Emily McIntyre, which I've seen a lot of this one too. But it had really cool sprayed edges. And the only thing that I can read about it, I actually haven't even looked it up. But the back has a quote that says, "I'd like to draw you just like this with your face kissing the stars. I think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." So, I think I did look it up just to see if I would like it. And it has really good reviews. And I don't really read much dark romances, so I wanted to give this one a go. And it had like a cute little graphic, illustrated little page in the front. So, that's something different. Then we have Margot's Got Money Troubles by Ruthie Thorpe. This one's like a general fiction about a woman who, I don't know if she gets fired or she's just like figuring out life, and now she's 20 years old, alone, a single mother, and she's about to lose her place. Like, she's on the verge of eviction, and needs money fast. So she starts an OnlyFans, and that's all I know about it. But I thought that was like a really intriguing plot. And then this one is The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. I don't know how to say the last name, but this one I think is like a historical fiction. And on the back, actually, it says one of Barack Obama's favorite books of the year. So that's cool. But it spans the years 1900 to 1977, following three generations of a Christian family in Kerala, South India, that suffers a peculiar affliction. In every generation, at least one person dies by drowning. As the novel opens, a 12-year-old girl is sent by boat to her wedding, where she meets her husband for the first time. She joins a prosperous household and becomes known as the Big Amachi, the matriarch of an extraordinary family that will endure hardship, celebrate triumph, and witness unthinkable changes over the coming decades. An exquisite modern classic, The Covenant of Water is an unforgettable and stunning epic of love, faith, and medicine. That just sounds super intriguing, and I also don't read books like this a lot, but when I do, I always end up really enjoying them, so I just want to, broaden my horizons a little bit with that one. Next, I have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. I wanted to get this book so I could read it before the movie comes out. I forget who's playing the female main character, who the actress is that's going to be in this film, but I know Penn Badgley. Is that how you say his name? I can't remember. But the guy from Joe Goldberg, is playing the male main character. I've seen pictures of them filming in New York, so I wanted to read the book before I saw it. Also, it's kind of crazy to me to imagine him. I only know him as Joe Goldberg. I never watched Gossip Girl, so it's kind of hard to imagine him in a romance. But anyway, I wanted to read this before that movie came out, and I think these people, it's an enemies to lovers, and it's supposed to be comedic, and they're getting married for some reason. I don't know much about it, but I got that one, and then I got 2 Kristen Hanna books. I love Kristen Hanna. Kristen Hanna and Frederick Bachman have become my new favorite authors over the past year or 2 years. No, year. I think last year was the first year I read a book by either of them. So this one is Angel Falls. This one's about a woman who falls into a coma, so then it's up to her husband to hold the family together. And they have children, so he spends time by her side telling the stories of their life together, hoping that she'll wake up, but then he discovers evidence of his wife's secret past, a first marriage to world-famous actor Julian Truce. Okay. Then her husband goes to the ex-husband for help, trying to bring her back. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but I always love her writing, and they're always emotional. And then this one is On Mystic Lake. And this one says, Annie Coldwater's husband has just confessed that he's in love with a younger woman. On the same day, their only daughter goes off to college. Oh, great timing. Okay. So, alone and devastated, she returns to her small Pacific Northwest hometown, where she's reunited with her first love, Nick Delacroix, who is a recent widower who is unable to cope with his silent, emotionally scarred young daughter. As the three of them begin to heal and Annie believes she's given a second chance of happiness, her world is turned upside down again, and she's forced to make a choice that no woman in love should ever have to make. This one sounds like it will definitely make me cry. I expect to cry, basically, at every single Kristen Hanna book, so it's kind of just a given at this point. Next, we have Far and Away by Amy Popel. I had seen this several times at Barnes & Noble, and it's always intrigued me. Like, I always pick it up. The cover is really cute. But this one's about two strangers who agree to have a house swap. So, one family lives in Germany, one family lives in Texas, and they decide to, like, switch houses. I don't know why. Lucy's hometown in Dallas has gone from home sweet home to a vicious snake pit in the blink of an eye after her son makes a mistake he can't undo. Okay. And then the other family, Greta's family, who lives in Berlin, their place is suddenly up for grabs when her husband, Otto, takes a dream job in Texas without telling her. So they agree to swap houses. And I'm not really sure I guess they're just like figuring out, like, you know, how to live in two completely different places with like culture and all that stuff. And then this one I've seen a lot of, and I don't really know anything about these stories, these books, but I've always been intrigued by them. This one's Big Fan by Alexandra Romanoff. I think they're all romances, but this one is about a political strategist, her former boy band crush, and what happens when teenage yearnings take a very adult and very sexy turn. Honestly, it sounds like right up my alley. So, and it's like very short, so I don't even, like, what could possibly happen in that? I don't know. Then we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I've been wanting to read this one. I was waiting for it to come out in paperback, but this one's basically about a girl who steals another author's manuscript and passes it off as her own after she dies. So that's all I know. I've gathered really from hearing other people talk about it. So then we have Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. Oh, this author wrote Dear Edward. But this one I don't even know what this one's about, honestly. I don't know if it's more of a romance, if it's more of a fiction or has romance on it. Oh, says it's what is that word? Homage? An exquisite homage? Is that the right word? Is that how you say it? To Louisa May Alcott's timeless classic, Little Women. Hello Beautiful is a profoundly moving portrait of what is possible when we choose to love someone not in spite of who they are, but because of it. This sounds like it could make me cry. I just picked a lot of books that might make me cry. And then I got Andy Weir's Hail Mary. I don't read science fiction. Ever. But I picked this one. I put it on my registry. I put it on my Amazon wishlist because I saw they're making a movie with Ryan Gosling. And I was like, I feel like this might be one that I could read and possibly understand. And then I would have something to look forward to watching the movie. So I actually don't even know what this one's about. This says, Ryland Grace is a sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Project Hail Mary. I said Hail Mary earlier. This is Project Hail Mary. Anyway, I thought that would be a good sci-fi to get into, maybe. I don't know. Okay, then we have Frederick Bachman's Britt Marie Was Here. I've read all of his books except for this one, and the other one was My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry. I think that's what it's called. But I love his writing. I don't even know what this one's about, but his writing is just, I don't even know how to describe his writing. His storytelling is so unique and so beautiful and also emotional. Like, he always gets the tears out of me. So yeah, I know I'll read anything that this man writes. And the last book that I have for this haul is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. And this is also a series on Apple TV. And it's just a mystery, I guess, where her husband, the main character's husband, goes missing, and he leaves a note that says, protect her. So I don't really know. I guess it's just following that and what that means. I also really wanted to read it because it's a series. So yeah, those are all the books that I've accumulated over the past month and a half. This was fun. I wish I could do more book hauls. I just don't get that many books all at once. I might soon though, because I actually have $45 worth of stamps from Barnes & Noble, and I got a $50 gift card for my birthday. So maybe another haul coming soon in the future. But anyway, if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts, or if any of these are on your TBR. I'm excited to get to all of these. It's kind of overwhelming. Honestly, this is a lot of books. So, yeah. I don't know when I'm going to have the time to read these with all the other books on my TBR, but I love buying books and receiving books. Just collecting books and reading books are two different hobbies, and if you're a reader, you'll understand. So, anyway, I'm really excited to add these to my TBR. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!